Okay, so body progress. Yesterday, I decided to do 100 push ups and 100 squats, which felt so great. I decided to do it again and gonna post it alongside my basically Olashna part 6, I think. And yeah, it's like, let's show the body because why not? In one day, probably not gonna be much difference, but why not? All right, so let me take my pants off because I don't need those. Because fuck pants. Who likes pants, right? I like to go around naked anyway. Okay, I'm gonna drop it on the ground. Okay, so this is the body. Did 100 push-ups and squats yesterday, and yeah, it's like actually I feel very tense around my chest and my shoulder, my triceps, and where else is there? Like more. How the fuck do I show this? Like over here, this like a front delt, I think, and flex everything, flex my abs more likely, and gonna look at it. I mean, I feel great. It's like it's wonderful what like only 100 push-ups and squats did to me in terms of my mindset in like one day. It's crazy. So let's just start off with the push-ups. As always, gonna do, not as always, like yesterday, I think I'll do 4 sets, 25, 25, everything. So yeah. Gonna do this in my underwear because I think I just kind of over the point of like being embarrassed to show myself in the video. I used to be so scared of like what people would think, how it's gonna be if I show myself in the internet, but I think I'm desensitized to the internet of what they do all the time. I think this is pretty tame actually. So, oh my god, that was 5 muscles. It's sore, holy shit, but I like it. I'm gonna push myself to 200, to do 100, not 200. Okay, 5. That's starting off strong. That's 15. I got 10 more to go. I swear, like when I do some exercise, I just don't know how to do math. It's crazy. It's like, took me a second to understand that from 15 to 20, it takes 10, 25. It takes 10 more, so. Okay, 25, and over the squats. Okay, that was 25 squats. Okay, very nice. Okay, gonna rest for a moment because I can really feel it on my upper chest, my triceps, and like over here where, I don't think it was the front delt, it was like the point where my chest attaches to my bone, maybe the leg. I don't know what there is here, but this is sore, triceps are sore. Yeah. But from the last video, or like every time I do push-ups, I realized that what I do is like I don't really clench my core enough. So what happens is that when I do push-ups, I push my front body up like this, and my ass comes later, which is not ideal. So I think fix to this is that I clench my abs, do push up. And I realized that yesterday. Crazy, right? And that was 2, so I'm on 25. I'm in 27. And 2, that means I need 18, 18. And 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I need to do 23 more. Oh my god. I cannot do 25 minus 2. Why did I think of that? Okay. Maybe I should have focused on school. That was 4, 6. 4 plus 2 is 6, I think. Now 4 more, that'll make it 10. Okay, that's 10, 15 more to go. Then 15 more to go. So I think I'll just do 5 now. That's 15. Need to do 10 more. That was 5. That's 20 and 5 more to go. Okay, that's 25. And actually, one thing to note is that when I'm doing this workout, 100 push-ups and 100 squats, I don't intend to go fully hard, like ego mode. Because like what I realized, like back then when I used to do push-up challenges and workout, is that I would say I want to do 100 and I'll just go straight out to like 70 or 50 straight. And like all my form is just like, it's fucked after 20 and doesn't really count as a push-up. And then I get upset, give up halfway, and I just fuck up. And so I think this is more of like a consistent way for me to do 100 push-ups without getting upset and quitting halfway. Which is an interesting realization. I don't know. I think I had like such a huge big ego back then when I was younger. I was like, how I look in the internet, I like watch these people do this crazy workouts, and I think to myself, why can't I do it? And do what I cannot do, I get upset. So I do 25 squats now. Oh my underwear keeps going my ass. Okay, so far 50 push-ups, 50 squats. I don't feel tired. And if I can just push through the pain, my muscles can do it. I think it's like one thing to realize is that if you just are able to push through the pain and have a resilient mind, I think you can just kind of make your body do whatever the fuck you want. Because as long as the brain wants it, the body will do it. And I had that first realization when I was younger. I think I was around 16 or 17. I ran this first ever time running a marathon with my friend. And it took me like 6 hours to complete the marathon. And I was like done after the 5th kilometer. The only thing that was going me through was like my friend motivating me of like, Mantle, you're descendant of Genghis Khan, you're Mongolian, you push through this. And that ignited fire in me, like kept me going, and I kind of turned into this kind of zombie mode where I don't think anything, I don't see anything. I just basically move my body without any thinking, just allocate all the resources on the goal and the fact that to move my body, and everything else was shut off. And that was a kind of a moment for me to that I kind of realized now is that was like probably the zombie mode that I have achieved, which is pretty fun to think about it back then. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, now 25 more push-ups to get to 75. Like say I just did 10 with no problem. But the previous time when I was starting over, maybe my body is warmed up now, that I'm able to do it more easily or push through the pain. But I think the fact that I just talked about this zombie mode, and if I put my mind to it and ignore the pain, then I could do it. Which brings me to another point where like I really think belief is like a very important aspect of what we do. Because like if I just believe I can do 100, like how I believed I could do 100 from the start, then I'm gonna do it, right? Because there's no problem. I could say like, I could have said, oh man, it's late, no one's gonna really watch this video, or it doesn't matter if I do 100 today, or like I'm out of shape already. You know, it's like she'll just give up. I could say all those things, but I decided to just say I want to do 100 push-ups and 100 squats. Why not? And I think I can do it. I believe I can do it, which is why I'm here. And as you saw, I was doing 5 by 5, but I just did 10 normally right now. And I think that's influenced by the fact that I just said that if you just put your mind to it and push it through, your body will do it anyway, which I think unconsciously just made me do 10 push-ups in a row without trouble, which is interesting. And I think I can do 10 more without problem again. Well, yeah, I just did 10 more without problem again. Actually, I feel lighter. I think more and more I say those things, I think the easier it will get, because I'm just reinforcing this belief of like, this is actually easy, I can do it, and if I keep thinking like this and push through it, I could do it no problem. Which is working. I'm already 20 push-ups. And yeah, 5 more. All right, squats. Okay, so oh, I was choking my spit. That was 25 push-ups and 25 squats. 75 push-ups, 75 squats. Already on my last set. And I just did it while talking to someone, while talking to you. Usually when I do these workouts, when I was younger, and I'll do it alone in my house with nothing, just me talking bad about myself. It's like, man, you're weak, you gotta do this. Like, you know, just push through it. I said push through it. But then there is also another side, maybe the lizard brain, the side that you think that you are, the thoughts that you think that you are, that is influencing me to not do those. Which is another point, is like, the things you think is basically not you. What I mean by that is like those unconscious thoughts that just appear randomly is not really you, because you can observe them. If you think about it like that, because that's just the thoughts that comes out of your body and your brain in a way that's conditioned. Let's say you live this life of like, let's say, do my example, like, you know, sitting lifestyle, you're on your computer all day, frictionless life basically, and that's what your body's used to. And once you decide to take actions in your own hand and start working out, such as, you know, those like work out and do those good habits, what happens is that part of you that's like used to that, your lizard side, or I guess, though, they start talking to you. And the fact that you can observe, well, I don't know if you're at that level yet, but like, if you learn to observe your thoughts and realize those thoughts that randomly come up to you, it's not really your thoughts. You just know that this is just like maybe it's neural pathways. I don't know what the scientific terms for these things are, but from my understanding is that there's a side of you that thinks like you, but it's not actually you. You're mistaking those thoughts as if that you were thinking. For such as those depressive thoughts of like, oh, you're not good enough, you ain't shit, you know, the girl's not gonna like you. All those thoughts are not you. And then once you realize those thoughts are not you, it gives you some kind of power, because you can just look at that thought as if you were looking at someone and say, fuck you, and that's not me, and I laugh about it. Because randomly, I just have a good day, and I'm just, you know, doing my work, and just randomly, a random thought comes in, you know, it's like, oh, you're not doing good enough work, you didn't work enough today. And from that point, and like, I'm like, kind of like gotten to the point like where I can just like spot it immediately. I just say to it like, this is like, as I'm talking to a person in my mind, I just say like, this is such a bullshit thought, that's not even me, and it just goes away, and I just go on about my day, I forget about it. And that's kind of like a way to not spiral into negative thought loop and then harm yourself. Because what do you think really just determines how your day is and how your overall being is, to be honest. So it's good to have good thoughts that is actually yours, conscious, instead of dwelling on those unconscious thoughts and going fucking around, right? And yeah. This video of me just randomly working out is actually giving more value than my other videos that I usually do, which is funny. After this, I'm gonna record the basically Olashna series, and I have some juicy things to talk about, actual some value, instead of just reporting on what the fuck I did that day. So yeah, and I've been actually kind of feeling and becoming more conscious and more healthy in a way after I come here. It's such a game changer for me. I like my body. It's like I'm working out right now and my body is like kind of red from the blood circulation, and just makes me feel like I'm like, those like, like how those empty muscles look like. There's like huge muscles, but it just looks empty. But how I feel about myself when I look at my forearms, just from my point, the first person, when I look at my body like this, if I don't include the fats, it's actually pretty like solid, not sure, like mature kind of a muscle. I don't know if it's just glazing myself or like just actual observation, but I kind of feel like my muscles are pretty, I don't know, well, whatever. So that's very fun. And I think if I want to start speaking about these kind of deep topics and gonna ramble about these things, I think it's probably better for me to know these names and labels for it, so I understand it more further. Because what I think is that when you label things and when you name things, you give them power and makes you actually associate things more and understand it more. For example, like the tribe, from like I watched this random video about this, how there's like a random tribe and wherever the fuck they were, they didn't have color blue. They couldn't distinguish between the color blue to color green, I think it was, because they didn't have name for blue, so they couldn't distinguish between blue and green, I think. And that's what was happening. And like for us, it's like we know blue, we labeled it blue, and because it's blue, it's separate from green, so we can distinguish between them. And I think that's probably what artists do, There's like artists that just say fucking, I don't know, violet come shot pink, and it's like a distinct color to whatever the other color name is. And for us, it's invisible. For him, it's so obvious, like how it's obvious for us that the green is green and blue is blue for that tribe. So I think it's like actually learning the names of the things I talk about and understanding it is probably better, so I can make the better distinction between them, and by correlation, I give you better value on the videos. That's pretty cool. And what was I? 10 push-ups, yeah. That was 10. I will probably rewatch this video, and take notes on what I talked about, because it's just all over the place. It's like a bunch of random info dump right now. And then actually take those topics, probably make them a separate video. That's probably good. I'm actually, while I'm working out, the point of this video is just me working out and showing progress kind of a way. But I ended up accidentally getting more topics to talk about while doing this shit. And I actually have it recorded and posted on the internet, so I can actually go back and see what I talk about and actually have it. Because I have a problem with like forgetting the things that I want to talk about and all this information, because I just simply don't have the habit of like taking notes on the things, and I don't like to take notes on the phone, which doesn't help as much. But I like to yap a lot. So I think yapping like this is pretty good. Info dumping while I'm working out is like, actually, when I realize when I'm working out or when I'm working outside doing labor on the construction, I get all the thoughts I need. I think that just puts me in a state of like actually being able to think, because these movements doesn't require me to think. I kind of, because I don't know, I don't know if it's because I've done labors for like 2 years now, to the point my body's used to it, and I don't have to put much thinking into it. So my thinking is just in the space where I can just wander, explore my brain, and think out loud, which helps me think. But when I'm doing anything else, I just don't really think. My mind is empty all the time. It's really rare for me to actually think. It's rare for me to think, which I think makes me sound like an absolute lobotomized retard. But yeah, it's actually pretty peaceful. But I think on the times when I'm actually working out, doing some physical activities, then I start to think these kind of wonderful things. And right now is like a proof of it, because I'm thinking right now, but except now it's out loud. And I realize actually I do the same thing when I'm talking to people. I mean, me talking to people is just thinking out loud. I don't filter anything. I just say whatever comes to mind. And I don't know if it's good or bad for the videos that I make, because, in the future, if I were to get big or something, from from a lot of the things I'm seeing here from the social media and the things I've been absorbing for all my life, is that the big creators kind of have to think about what they talk about, because or else they get in troubles and shit. But realistically, I really think it's like, I like to say what I say, and I like to stand by it. If I'm wrong, prove me wrong, and then I'll say, okay, sorry, I apologize, and it's good to go. But if I were to get big and say something that the public doesn't agree with, I don't think I will really care, to be honest. Because I said it, I thought it was right at the time, and I will stand by it until I'm proven wrong, or I decide that I'm wrong, and apologize and call it a day. Because what's the point of hiding these? Because I'm a human. After all, you guys are human. Everyone makes mistakes. If I made a mistake, I made a mistake, and yeah, I don't think I should practice this filter on myself, because I like to be inhibited all the time and don't try to filter out my things, my thoughts out, and my thoughts. Don't try to filter my thoughts. And I think thanks to that, I keep my humanity. Pretty deep shit I just said. Pretty cool, right? Anyway, 5 push-ups. Okay, that's 100 push-ups. Wonderful. Oh, papa. I'm feeling good. I messed up my counting, so I'll just start at 10 again. Because I think I definitely did more than 10, but it's safe to say it's safe to start at 10, because when I count with my breathing, which is probably weird, because every inhale, exhale, every time I go up, I inhale, every time I go down, I exhale. And on the exhales, I try to count, but when I'm just not really focused on the counting part, I start counting on the inhale and exhale. So I just go 1, 2, 3, 4, instead of 1, 2, 3, So I started 10 again and do 15 more. And what is a few more push-ups? I wasn't even that much anyway, so. I think that was 25, or maybe more, but yeah. Man, I've become so shameless. I don't care if someone sees my body or not. I think it's good, probably. All right. I can feel the pump. My chest is pretty big, actually. Oh, boy. All right, can I do a vacuum? I don't know, vacuum just looks so ugly. All right. I need to catch my breath first before I start flexing shits. Or I can actually do this maybe. Oh yeah, that's probably better. Maybe I don't have that much of a lats. Now when I look at it, it's like my upper body is pretty nice and wide, actually. It's pretty cool compared to my like waist area. I think I'll look very good if I cut, which exactly what I'm doing right now. Wow, actually enjoying what I'm looking like right now. I mean, I know it's the pump, but whatever, right? It's gonna be like this permanently in the future anyway. And oh yeah, legs. Forgot the legs. Okay. I wonder if you can see it. No, you cannot. I'll just put you here actually. Oh, bye. Okay, flexed. Oh. Well, that's it. Oh wow, it's popping out, holy shit. Anyway, that's it for the workout video. Gonna put on my clothes and do the video for the basic Lolashina series.